Welcome back to Unbox the Universe Tabletop, and today I just want to give you a short review of Shadows of Brimstone, Valley of the Serpent Kings by Flying Frog Productions. And a big thank you again to Jason and Scott for giving us this review copy at Gen Con so that we could try it out and share our thoughts with you. If you want to see the full playthrough of my game group, we'll leave the link at the end of this video. But I just want to give you sort of a shorter video in case you don't want to sit through the whole playthrough just to sort of hear our thoughts. We really enjoyed this game. As a matter of fact, the group wants to come back and play it again. You know, as with anything, when you're starting a new game, especially one as in-depth as this, there's a little bit of a learning curve, and it takes you a while to get into it. And you'll kind of notice that in our playthrough, that we had to consult the rule book a time or two and maybe kind of pause the video or basically fast forward or whatever through it until we had figured it out. And I'm sure there are rules that we misinterpreted or maybe just outright forgot about or maybe even ignored sometimes with our own house rules. But in any case, really enjoyed this game. To my surprise, the game figures needed some assembly, and so that is not something that I've ever had before in a game, and so thinking I was just going to get it out a few days before the group came over and start presetting things up and things like that was not my best move, because some of these figures they all required cutting out, but some of them required gluing together and things like that. But I can see there's wonderful miniatures, very detailed, and if you were talented enough to be able to even paint these, I think you could really have a special experience with the game. For us, the Valley of the Serpent Kings is sort of conquistador themed, which we enjoyed. That is not something that we have in too many of our games that we've played. So it was nice sort of going into a world that we hadn't really explored before and taking on those personas as if we were part of a conquistador exploration team, I guess. It did take us a while to get through it, but that made for a full fun evening. And like I said, the group would like to get back together now that we've gone through it the first time and try it again, because I think it will go a little bit smoother because we're all now a little bit more experienced with the mechanics and the gameplay. And one thing I will say is that no two games are alike, because as you go and as you explore, the game board is sort of generated sort of randomly, by the luck of the shuffled cards, and so it keeps things fresh, and so whenever you come back, it's something new, and you get to sort of go into that world again, but as a different experience, I guess. And not only that, but we only played through essentially the initial mission. It's got multiple missions in it, and the idea is you gain experience, which is an aspect that we didn't even really get to experience because our game ended after that first sort of introductory mission. But the idea is, things persist. You sell off your loot, you upgrade your characters, and so you go into subsequent missions stronger and better equipped and things like that. So again, something that we would really like to experience more and try out again. Another thing that I'm excited for is the Shadows of Brimstone. So there's sort of the core mechanics of how the game plays. And so we have Valley of the Serpent Kings. Like I said, it was conquistador themed. There are other themed expansion sets out there. Western, for sure. I believe feudal Japan might be in there. There's definitely a Vikings one that I'm excited to try out sometime, if I can get my hands on a copy. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the thing is, and I need to do a little bit more research, but what I would be excited for is you could mix and match. So like, presumably if you had all the different expansions and your group wanted to play like that, you could have a samurai team up with a somebody from the Old West, with a conquistador, all exploring, and potentially you may discover you start in one world and there may be a portal that takes you to one of the other worlds as well. So just sort of expanding on the characters, the gear that you can have. I'm excited to explore that more, and so perhaps at this year's Gen Con I can talk to the people at Flying Frog Productions and get a little bit more of the lowdown of how multiple sets might work together. But yeah, a very interesting game. We enjoyed it, really got into it. We had 4 people in our group, and things worked rather well. And even though it was an introductory mission, there were times where it was like, what in the world's going on? Are we even going to survive the intro mission? And then things finally came together when we really did start working as a team. So it's an interesting playthrough, and I highly recommend you check it out if you're interested in this game. Yeah, I think that's about all I can say, other than would play again, look forward to some of the other expansions. So hopefully you like this sort of content, and if you do, please give us that thumbs up and like the video. If you're not already subscribed to Unbox the Universe, please do so. It's what helps the channel to grow. And of course, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future content that we put out. I think that's all I've got for you for today, and this video's getting longer and longer by the second. So until next time, happy gaming.
Hear the drum.